House of Cons. I'm Black Jack. Tribal with me one more time. Salute to everybody in the house. Do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, share the video. And man, I gotta give a major shout out. I wasn't planning to do a show, but I woke up to a donation out of this world. I don't recall ever getting a donation this big. Hey, salute to Patricia for the $100 cash out. Tribal, salute.
Boom shakalaka!
I appreciate you greatly. That's major. So Patricia sponsored the show. And the title of the show is Christopher Columbus Started Slavery. We're looking at this thumbnail from the third eye point of view, not a bird eye point of view, because you know we ain't no bird brain augers over here. Well, before we get into that, I know y'all was rocking out to that intro music, that Panic in Babylon. Salute. Panic in Babylon by Lee Perry. Salute to Lee Perry. And if you want to know, yeah, Lee Perry. No, it's a reggae artist. Panic in Babylon. That's what we was rocking out to in the intro. Hey, salute to that brother rocking out. Check that album out, Panic in Babylon, Managa. You know what I'm saying? The brother is dope. But anyway, back to what we talking about. Christopher Columbus started slavery in America, to be specific. And we're gonna get into this conversation, and we're gonna let our thoughts lead us where they may. Salute the Monaga in the house, Tribal.
Boom shakalaka!
The day ones pulling in, the A1 day ones pulling in, Monaga in the house. Yeah, Christopher Columbus started this slave trade in America, because a lot of people, man, it's a shame, man, not only around the world, but specifically here in America. A lot of people are ignorant about the details of the history of slavery. People are very ignorant about the details of this, man, and it's sad. Everybody jump off with crazy dates like 1619 and stuff, and I get frustrated sometimes, y'all. I'm a nigga that like to take it back to the beginning. I like to go back to the origin of things. I like to see where it started, man. And I ain't saying the whole slave trade started with America, no, but we talking American specific. And Christopher Columbus started the slave trade in America. They give him the credit for quote unquote discovering the land that was already full of people, but they don't give him the credit of starting the slave trade in that land and from that land. You rarely hear people giving Christopher Columbus credit for creating the slave trade in 1492, 1493. Everybody jump out there with these 1619 dates, man. We on the last several live streams, we've been investigating Christopher Columbus from a third eye point of view, and we've been going over every single detail, from where he say he was going, who he took with him, and all of this and that. We've been investigating every details, but people don't never give him the credit he deserves for starting the slave trade in America. Christopher Columbus did that, and I got the proof. As always. The proof is out there. Everybody has the proof. I'm not the only one got it. Everybody has the proof. And while we looking at this thumbnail from the background, from a third eye point of view, we see an image of what we are told is Christopher Columbus in the foreground, and in the background we see the images of slaves. Let's straight up just call it like what they call it. They say these are slaves. But now what's interesting about these slaves in the background is one major question: who are these slaves? We clearly see they slaves, and since they're slaves, we also can clearly see that they're so-called black, right? They are so-called Negroes.
Everybody, darkness is spreading.
We see they so-called Negroes in the back. One with dreadlocks got his hands tied behind his back. So the fact that we're Negroes, the fact that they're Negroes, according to their history, and he got his hands tied behind his back. Not only what the details of the mural say, but I'm just going off of common sense. I'm acting like I don't even know what the details of this mural say. I'm acting like I don't even know the description. I'm just coming in naive. We see their so-called Negroes, one with dreads, hands tied behind his back. So they got to be slaves, right? From what they tell us in history, they got to be slaves. They can't be nothing else but slaves, right?
You big dummy.
Let's run with that. Okay, then they slaves. But the burning question is, where did Christopher Columbus get these slaves? Salute. And that's what we here for. That is what we here for, y'all. We here for this. We here for it. We here to talk about where Christopher Columbus got his slaves from, how he started the Negro slave trade in America. Let's just call it what it is. Christopher Columbus started these Negro slavery in America. But where did he get his slaves from? Was it Zimbabwe?
You big dummy.
Was it Kenya?
You big dummy.
What about Egypt?
You big dummy.
What about the Mandingo tribe?
You big dummy.
What about the Zulu warriors?
You big dummy.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to see and find out for ourselves. Where did Columbus get his slaves from? I heard he had some Zulu warriors. Naga told me he had Zulu warriors. I don't know if that's exactly true.
You big dummy.
So I said I gotta look this up because I need to know where my ancestors came from. I see these Negro slaves in the background. Columbus looking mighty funny. He looking kind of zesty and all. So we're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because a lot of people don't know. They think Columbus came. A lot of people believe mainstream history. Like, it's crazy to me how many people believe the mainstream narrative. They say, oh, he was looking for a quicker route to East Asia, the East Indies. So he went the long way. He was looking for a quicker route, but he went the long way in the opposite direction. And he never did say he was looking for the East Indies. He said he was just simply looking for the Indies. And they say he was going for herbs and spices. But he didn't have no herb and spice containers. In fact, y'all know in 1492 is when he initially went, right? He went back home that same year. And we talked about that one on the last live stream. We saw the painting that they did. And then he came right back to America a year later in 1493. Now, when he went back to America in 1492, well, the end of 1492, he went back to he went back to Spain. He kidnapped some American Indians, and he took them with him. And we talked about it on the last live stream. We reviewed the evidence. We connected the dots. Columbus, in fact, it was in Haiti. They was calling it Hispaniola and all this. See, that's the throw off. They called it different names to confuse y'all about where it was at. It was in Haiti. The same place that defeated the colonizer and took their land back and named it back to the original name. Salute to the brothers in ancient Haiti. The same place that they even taking Africans over there today trying to still colonize. They've been trying to colonize Haiti since Christopher Columbus. Do y'all realize this? Hispaniola is Haiti. Man, I get so tired of the ignorance, man. I swear, man. Hispaniola said Columbus landed in Haiti, my naga. Kidnapped some nagas. Whips and chains behind their back. Took them to Spain. 1493 he came back. Now when he originally came in 1492, they say he was with about 3 ships. You know how many ships he came back with in 1493? Oh, we about to talk about it. Because everybody want to gloss over this. Everybody want to gloss over. They want to just jump and tell you Columbus discovered a land that was already full of people. But they don't want to tell you Columbus started American slavery. I guess they don't want to tell you he started American slavery, and they want to just tell you he discovered the land because he enslaved. He initiated the slavery of all the people that inhabited that land. Columbus initiated the slavery of all the so-called Negroes, so-called black people that inhabited the Americas from Haiti on out. Columbus started that. And on his second voyage, It begun in 1493. Columbus ordered natives. Columbus ordered natives to be rounded up and returned to Spain to be sold. In February 1494, several dozen Indian slaves arrived in Spain. So they wasn't Zulu warriors. They wasn't from West Africa. They wasn't from nowhere like that. They wasn't from Kenya. They weren't from Nigeria. Salute the legend of Naga Charlie in the house. Tribe up.
Boom shakalaka!
Yeah, they wasn't from Nigeria. Wasn't from Kenya. Wasn't from the Zulu tribe. They wasn't the Mandingo warriors. They was American Indian slaves. Columbus in 1493 on his second voyage, he ordered natives to be rounded up and returned to Spain to be sold. So bang, so he coming back in 14. He done went there in 1492. The modern day historians lie and tell you that he was lost. Columbus never said he was lost. They tell you he was going to some fictitious East Indies. Columbus never said that. He said he was simply going to the Indies. There's only one Indies. They tell you he was looking for herbs and spices. Columbus ain't said none of that. He wasn't never lost, because he said, I'm going back. He said, I was successful. Columbus succeeded in finding the Indies. He succeeded. He found the Indies and the Indians. And in 1493, Columbus said, we're going back to order these nickels to be rounded up and returned to Spain and to be sold. In February 1494, several dozen Indian slaves arrived in Spain. Columbus expected them to be sold and the money used to buy cattle and supplies to be shipped to the New World. So we saw the images from the last live stream from old paintings of the of Columbus's return from his first voyage. We saw the paintings, and just for reference, in case somebody ain't saw the last live stream, I'm just gonna go to my community post and we're gonna pull it up real quick, and then we're gonna jump back on task. We saw Pagaro's painting of the natives that Columbus took back to Spain. Matter of fact, let me do it like this. We saw Pagaro's painting of the natives Columbus took back to Spain. Yeah, we saw it. We saw how they ain't even keep doing that. Hold on. We saw how those natives look in words. So of course he enslaved them. That adds on right on up to the story, because the Negroes was the ones getting enslaved. So when we look back at that thumbnail, with Columbus in the front and the Mayan Indians on the mural in the back being enslaved, it all makes sense. Yeah, those are Mayans. Those are not Zulu warriors, Salute.
Boom shakalaka!
They ambush Predator in the house. So it makes sense when we see the Mayan slaves, they so-called Negroes, they N-words. Off of Mayan mural, an ancient Mayan mural, a pre-Columbian Mayan mural. We got the Nagas being enslaved, right? So it add up though, when we look back at Pagaro painting of the Indians that Columbus took back to Spain with him and enslaved, and we reading today from the second voyage. Now, they try to hijack. Let me X something out real quick. We looking back from the second voyage. Now, when he went and he got them first, like they say, a dozen or so Indian slaves arrived in Spain. Columbus said, you know what? He got there, Columbus told the crown, he told Isabella and them, it's a lot more of these niggas, where these come from? That what Columbus said. I ain't said Columbus said that. I was like, dang, boy, Columbus cold-blooded. He said, it's a lot more we got these ones from. So, you know, on his second trip, he only had 3 ships the first trip. I wonder how many ships he had on that second trip. He had to have a whole lot. He said, man, all these knockers over here, he said, when I go back this time, I got to make sure I got more than 3 ships. He said, it's a whole lot of these knockers over here. He said, it's a whole lot of knockers we can slay. He said, over here in America. He told Isabella in the crown, he said, give me as many ships as you got available. So guess how many ships they sent them back with? Let's see. Look how Columbus created the slave trade. See, I'm not the only one said it. The Orlando Sentinel told you that. I ain't gonna even click on their hijack article. What did Columbus do on his second voyage? He rounded up niggas. He just told you. He rounded up niggas. On his second voyage in 1493, he sailed with 17 ships. God dang, you started off with 3 in 1492. You told Isabella to give you as many as she got. She gave you 17 because you took back 12 Nagas and made them slaves. And she said bring back as many. She told you, Columbus, here go 17 ships this time. We're going to give you 6 times the amount of ships we gave you on the first trip. You go back with 17 this time. You bring me back as many of these Nagas as you can. We need slaves. And Columbus says, you know, it's a lot of them Nagas over there. I could fill up 17 ships, but I ain't going to even put a dent in the population. That's what Columbus said. He was like, and that's going to be dangerous and all. Columbus said, I'm not going to even get a dent in the population. He was like, I can go do it though. He was like, I know these 12s are very infectious. They like the 12 tribes of Jacob. I know. Columbus said, this who they is. That's why I took the Hebrew interpreter. He said, I can go fill up 17 ships. That's what Columbus said. So he went back. 17 ships this time. 17 ships this time, Managa. And about 1,200 men arriving in Hispaniola. Now, I just told you Hispaniola is Haiti. He went right back. He wasn't never lost. He went right back to Hispaniola. He knew that was the Indies he was in, not just Hispaniola, that whole entire place over there. He knew this whole entire place over here was the West Indies. Not the West Indies, I mean the Indies. They call it the West Indies. We run with that for historical sake. But Columbus never said West Indies. He said the Indies. And he knew this was the Indies, aka the Americas, from Canada all the way down to South America. Columbus knew this was the Indies. And he know he landed on one of the islands. He named it Hispaniola. But it was always ancient Haiti, Managa. And he went with 17 ships to snatch up 17 shiploads of Haitians to take back to Spain to turn them into slaves. He went to Haiti, not Hispaniola. We're going to honor the ancient name that our ancestors named in land of high mountains, ancient Haiti, Managa. He went to ancient Haiti, Managa, with 17 ships on his second time. You talking about he was lost and looking for herbs and spices. He was looking for slaves. He went with 17 ships and 1,200 slave masters and landed back in Haiti in November to find the fort of La Navidad destroyed with no survivors. Yeah, the Haitians tore them up. They tried to build a fort in Haiti. And the Haitians, and he left the first time he stole them Nagas. The rest of our ancestors were so pissed off. Columbus left like 39 men in a booty ass fort. Man, we went in there and we destroyed them. We said Columbus took our people and he ain't come. We ain't know if he coming back or what the hell was going on. We destroyed the fort and all his people for the Nagas that he took from us. Look, how did the second voyage of Columbus differ from the first? Yeah, recon mission to a slave snatching mission. They talking about they running up in Africa. Nah, Naga, they running up in Haiti, Naga, and the rest of the Americas. Unlike the exploratory first voyage, the recon voyage, the second voyage was a massive colonization effort comprising of 17 ships and over 1,000 men, a war party, a slave catching party with ammo, guns, everything, whips and chains. The second brought European livestock. Talking about for the first time. You're right. We are American horses. How did Columbus' second voyage differ from his first? What were the 3 voyages of Christopher Columbus? Who joined Columbus on his second voyage in 1493? Why did Columbus go on his last voyage? Under what instructions did Columbus undertake his second voyage to the Indies, not the West Indies? The Indies on his second trip. He was never lost. He ain't come back the first time talking about, man, I got lost and I hung over there for a minute, but I'm still looking for East Indies. No, he said, I found the Indies. I need another trip with 17 more ships to the Indies, not the East Indies, not the West, the Indies in 1493. Under what instructions? To get slaves, Naga, to make room for their people. Columbus journeys to the Americas opened the way for European countries to colonize and exploit those lands and their peoples. Trade was soon established between Europe and the Americas. Plants native to the Americas such as potatoes, tomatoes, and tobacco, of course, were imported to Europe. And then they made the tobacco statue. They made you Nagas on statues, you know. Who was Christopher Columbus rejected by? What would happen if Christopher Columbus never discovered America? What were the main events of Christopher Columbus' journey? What were the positive and negative? Ain't no positives. Second and third verse. Look, the second and third voyages of Christopher Columbus captured slaves, Managa. They tell you this lie ass running up in Zimbabwe story. That bullshit. In March, Columbus explored the Cibao Valley, thought to be the gold bearer. Now, ain't no thought to be, it was. We know y'all stole the gold. Look, the second voyage of Columbus brought back many enslaved indigenous people with him. See, this is the part of history everybody wanted to ignore. Columbus created the slave trade in America, and it was not Africans, Managa. It was never Africans whatsoever. Why would Columbus need to enslave Africans when the Mayans looked like this? And why would Columbus need to enslave Africans when the Haitians look like this? And it ain't say they gave him 17 ships to go to Africa, the West Africa, to get no slaves. They sent his ass back to Haiti, Managa, back to the Americas. Let's connect the dots one at a time. Let's stop playing with our ancestors' history. Let's just click on Britannica and see what they got to say. See if they give us any numbers. I'm quite sure they give us some fictitious numbers. We gotta cut the bullshit out, man. We gotta cut the bullshit out. The second and third voyages of Christopher Columbus. Look, this bitch ass. Not even his real name, by the way. But that's not either here or there. Not even his real name. But that's not here nor there. That's not here nor there. That Christopher Columbus ain't his real name. If he wanted us to call him Columbus, that's what we gonna call him right now. The gold, the parrots, spices, and human captives. Yup, exactly. Parrots and all. Gold, holding a plate of gold and shit. Exactly. I understand exactly what they're talking about. The gold, parrot, spices, and human slaves Columbus displayed for his sovereign at Barcelona convinced all of the need for a rapid second voyage. They said, we need to hurry up and get back, man. Get me all the ships. You give me that one that's even leaked. They took the ship that was leaking. They had a ship with a hole in it. Columbus said, if it's in that ship. Columbus said, that little hole, we can patch it up on the way. He said, give me all of them. With a rapid second voyage, Columbus was now at the height of his popularity. He was never looking for herbs and spices. He was never looking for Hindustan. He was looking for the Indies, and he found it. He was at the height of his power. He came back a hero. They say he was successful. He found India superior, and he brought back gold. He brought back pearls. He brought back birds, parrots, and he brought back a talking parrot. My Naga, the Naga taught his parrot how to talk. And Columbus said, "I got to make you a slave." He grabbed that Naga and his parrot. He said that the Naga told him. He said, the Naga told him, "You Columbus, fool. All our parrots talk, fool. That's why we wear feathers. They talk to us, fool. See, you don't know. We wear feathers, so our birds become comfortable with us. See, our Naga don't even know this, because they don't even know nothing about it, right? They don't know nothing about it, right? They think they know." Gold, parrots, spices, and human captives convinced all the need to hurry up and get back fast as possible with all the ships they had available. Columbus was now at the height of his popularity because he was successful in finding the Indies. And he led at least 17 ships out from Cadiz on September 25th, 1493. Colonization and Christian evangelization, doomed diverses, were openly included this time in the plans. It was openly included. They say doomed diverses is up in the open. Ambush Predator says his real name Alberto. No, that's Alberto Vespucci. Alberto Vespucci real name is Alberto. Columbus' real name is up for grabs. You know what I'm saying? I know his last name might be Cologne or Cologne, because I done seen that, or Colonus. I mean, even if he was a real person or not is up for a debate. Or whether he was a Naga, whether he was a white man. See, when it's all these details that's up for debate, it started to be a question if he was a real physical person is up for debate too. But we're not going to get into that. That's why I say we're going to call him Christopher Columbus. We're going to stay on task. Because there might be a bigger meaning behind him. He might be the Christ that they talking about. Christopher. The Christ that they talking about, right? Christian evangelization. Christopher Columbus at Christian evangelization. Columbus, Cologne, colonization. Christ colonization, Christopher Columbus. Christian colonization, Christopher Columbus. You see what I mean? Openly included. Doing that verses was openly included this time. They're going to accept Christ, or we're going to make them slaves and call them savage. We're going to call them a noble savage. We're going to call them a bone savage. And we're going to make them slaves. We're going to subdue them. Ronald Ware in the house, tribal salute. We're going to call them a bone savage. We're going to enslave them unless they bow down and accept Zeus. And a group of friars shit with them. A group of friars. Priests? They talking about a group of friars. Why they call them friars? Because they were frying people. They was burning people like Harte. Harte went and accept Christ. And they set them on fire. That's why they call them friars. I don't know. The presence of some 1,300 salaried men. War men. Slave raiders. With perhaps 200 private investors. 200 more people. 200 like these hitmen. Private investors. Them hitmen. They not under the crown. They can do what they want. Them criminals. And a small troop of cavalry are testimony to the anticipation for the expedition. They went back with a massive war party to get as many slaves as possible. They went back with 17 slave ships with military men and whips and chains. Sailing again via Gomera in the Canary Islands, the fleet took a more southerly course than on the first voyage and reached Dominica in the Lesser Antilles on November 3rd. After sighting the Virgin Islands, it entered. So salute to the Dominica, salute to ancient 80s, salute to the Virgin Islands, Managa. Hey, Managa. All my Nagas in the islands, in the so-called Caribbean islands, Managa, you're welcome here over here in the House of Cons, Managa. I know on this internet, you got some Nagas who's supposed to be on this indigenous path. They be dissing y'all. Nagas, especially the Nagas, the FBA Nagas, the FBA leader, he got a problem with the Nagas, and he be calling the Nagas in the carrot. Tariq Nasheed, you need to cut it out, man. Stop calling brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. Tell us those are our relatives. Some of those people literally got shipped there from here, you idiot. And a lot of the people that's here right now got shipped from there, you idiot. And it's all the Americas, you imbecile. Cut it out, Tariq. You supposed to be a leader. I like some of the stuff you do, Managa, but you on some BS with that. And I'm going to chastise you on the Shabbat, Managa, Shalom. I don't care who you is. You will get it over here. You will get chastised, Managa. Large or small. I don't care. You doing wrong. And I'm going to call you out. I'm going to put your address on it with your name, Naga. I dare you come over here and say something. And I know you not. Stop dissing the Virgin Islands and Jamaica and Haiti. Stop it. You sound stupid. You got the nerve to open a fake ass museum that ain't nothing but a nightclub. Don't make me call you out. Anyway, y'all know I got personality disorder. Y'all know I can go on a tirade. This is how I used to be in school. I used to think I was that dude on school days. I used to be going out sometimes, scaring the shit out of people and all in my class. The principal liked that shit though. The dean liked that shit I was doing. He was like, yeah, Black Jack got him back there going crazy. The old breeze in the house. But all my students do very well. You know what I'm saying? Disciplinarian, you know what I'm saying? That's what Nagas need, disciplinarians, man. Because we run around ignorant and talking ignorant with no discipline, my Naga. And not even studying, just faking the funk. Michelle de Corneo, deeply impressed by the unerring return, remarked that since Genoa was Genoa, there was never born a man so well equipped and expert in navigation as the said so-called Lord Admiral, my lord. An expedition to Navidad 4 days later was shocked to find the stockade destroyed and the men dead. Because we know y'all took our people. Now you think this shit was war. We were waiting on y'all to come back. We were waiting on y'all to come back with your little funky 17 ships. It was on. Here was a clear sign that Taino resistance had gathered strength, my naga. What resistance? Gathered strength, my naga. Taino resistance gathered strength. More fortified places were rapidly built, including a city founded on January 2nd and named La Isabella for the Queen. I want to name it for the Queen, punk ass. On February 2nd, Antonio de Torres, Antoine looking ass nigga, old Twan looking ass nigga named Twan. Antonio de Torres. If your name Twan, my nigga, I'm just fucking with you. You know what I'm saying? I got jokes though. Antonio de Torres left La Isabella with 12 ships, some gold, spices, parrots, and captives, most of whom died en route, as well as the bad news about Navidad. Look, they died en route. What? Now you gotta ask yourself, why these American Indians kept dying en route? Let's stop right here for a minute. We're gonna come back to this. We're gonna pause with the 12 ships, gold, spices, and parrots, and captives, most of whom died en route. Why you think they died, my nigga? I mean, you gotta ask yourself something realistic. You know why they died? They not wasn't immune to the nastiness of the eyes of the Gentile. You wasn't immune to the parasites over there. You wasn't immune to the air over there, to the water over there, to the food over there. You wasn't from over there. You wasn't indigenous to that. You wasn't immune to that stuff. Most of them died. Just like when they tried to send a lot of our ancestors to Africa, to Monrovia, Liberia. A lot of them died. They blood is not supposed to be there. It was written. It said don't go there. When the lands was divided between the sons of Noah, it said don't go there or you're going to be cursed. People think this is a game, huh? You think it's Christianity, huh? You think it's Judaism. You think it's Islam, huh? You really don't understand, do you? Really don't understand. You ain't supposed to go there because you ain't immune to that place. And they not immune to over here. Alright. While Torres headed for Spain, two of Columbus' subordinates, Alonso, wait a minute, died, and some complaints about Columbus' methods of government. While Torres headed for Spain, two of Columbus' subordinates, Alonso de Ojeda and Pedro Margarit, took revenge for the massacre at Navidad, and captured slaves. They was mad. They was taking revenge. They took revenge. They say, forget the fact that we stole y'all people and enslaved them and took them to Haiti. And the blackest ones that we left behind, they killed our man. When we got back, we mad now. We want revenge on y'all, even though we started all this BS. Columbus them started. Columbus, Isabella, the Crown, and they men started all the fuckery on our land. And they call themselves mad. It took our people over there, showed them off in front of the Crown and enslaved them. Most of them died. Because they ain't had no business being in the eyes of the Gentiles in the first place. Now you want revenge on us because we got payback on y'all? Oh, don't hijack. Nah, black screen. Alright, we'll slow down. I know where I'm at. I'll never forget shit. I got a strong ass memory. I got a super naga memory. Like, they can black my screen now if they want to. I'll put it right back up, right exactly where I left off at. I'll search it out again, put it all back up over again. It's like, they can try to knock the hustle. It don't matter though. Shit don't be matter. I don't know, like, you know, it'd be funny. Like, it be my stream that they do it tonight. And I swear, y'all think I be making jokes. Like, I be on this computer. My junk don't be doing all this till I go live. I got a high-tech computer and all. I got a high-tech computer, more high-tech than most. Man, I be seeing these other Naga stream, these old crusty ass, dusty streams out here going. These Nagas. I see some of these Nagas dusty little streams now. I ain't gonna crack no jokes on you Nagas right now though. So I'm gonna let y'all slide right now with the dusty little streams going on. But I invested in mine. My junk, all this freezing up. I got top-notch internet and all. They want to freeze up on me. And I got auto bill pay. You know what I'm saying? No, my shit. They ain't got no reason for my shit. That's why I be mad. When I notice the hijack freezing me up. I don't mind pausing. Sometimes the class want to break. You know, like when I used to be... They're like, nah, Blackjack, I ain't going to break right now. I'm just cracking jokes. But let's keep it moving. Most of whom died en route, as well as the bad news about Navidad and some complaints. When they returned, the Nagas had to slaughter their people, right? In March, Columbus explored the Cibao Valley, thought to be the gold-bearing region. Ain't no thought to be it. They knew it was. They knew it was. They stole the gold. That's why they right now they trying to pull up shit. They loaded some of them ships so heavy down with gold that they sunk Monaga. And right now, I mean, you can Google it yourself. They trying to pull up a ship right now that they know loaded with some of that gold. And the Most High sunk that shit and established the fortress of Santo Thomas there. Then late in April, Columbus led the Nina and 2 other ships to explore the Cuban coastline. Come on, man, hijack. God dang. Let me see. I don't know why they doing all this hijack right now. Switching my screen. Alright. He led the Nina Cuban coastline and searched for gold in Jamaica. Salute to the Nagas in Cuba and Jamaica, my Naga. Cuba, did you know? Cuba and Jamaica is full of Nagas. A lot of people don't know that. You got Negroes all over Jamaica, of course. Everybody know that. But Cuba too. And people think they got there from Africa. You got to be out your mind. Only, especially if they call them descendants of slavery, which is partially true. They did enslave the Indians, but they lying about who you Negro slaves are. They lying about what slave descendants you Negroes is. You were Indian slaves. Your ancestors was Indian slaves. They lying, telling you Africa. This is where all the hijack comes from, because they say both of y'all black. And they saying since they found you over here, whether you were Indian with feathers on, well, they found you over here as an Indian with feathers on. They didn't matter to them. In their eyes, you could be an Indian with feathers. Hold on, man. Why I took the picture down? Why it ain't got the picture up now? See, let me reload the page. I don't want it to play though. Yeah, they found you like this. And they talking about, oh, you're African because you black. The Columbus still came over here and found your ass like this. And he gonna turn around and talk about you. Say, they don't want that screen up. Let me back out there. They gonna put him on his little ugly ass. Nonsense. Panic in Babylon.
Attention retirees. If you're willing to be at your computer,
pause for the call.
From 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most weekdays.
They won't even let me pause.
I can show you one.
Pause that shit. I don't want to look at that. See, they found your ass over here looking like this. They found you over here looking like this and said, wait a minute, that's an African. Culturally, you nothing of that. They found you over here looking like this, though, my Naga. Took you back over there looking like this, said you was slave. Saying you feathered up, made you doing diverse, and said you were African. And even when they found you feathered up, they still said you were slaves. They said you escaped. You see the hijack? You running around free the whole time. You were Indian on your land, black as hell, nappy head as hell. You ain't have no tape up. And they said the white man came and said that's an African. Get them in slaves and put them on these Columbus ships. Do you see what happened? Talking about returning them. They wasn't never slaves. Talking about escape. If they did escape slavery, they still wasn't Africans. You caught in the catch-22. You want to call them escaped slaves? Okay, you was capturing Indians. They still Indians. The ones that never were slaves, you ran up talking about, oh, we was mistaking you for a slave. You trying to capture Nagas? They fighting you in court. Talking about we ain't no slaves. Talking about you call them Africans, they fighting you vehemently. You call them black, they telling you they Pawnee. They telling you they from Haiti. They telling you they Haitian. You call it they land Hispaniola. On June 12, 1494, Columbus insisted that his men swear a declaration to the effect, an indication that he intended to convince his sovereign he had reached Cathay. He knew he reached Cathay. They tell him. See, they in the historical hijacks trying to do the cover up at the same time. They say Columbus insisted he found the Indies and Cathay. He insisted that his man swear. He said, y'all swear. Columbus stopped for a minute. He stopped like we be stopping the lesson over here sometimes. He stopped the colonization for a minute. He said, hey, look, 1,300 men. He said, I want everybody to swear right now, in case they kill me, that there will be an effort, an indication that he intended to convince his sovereign, the crown, Elizabeth, that, hey, we found Cathay. He said, if I die, let her know that we found Cathay. Oh, y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think we playing? This is why we stop and connect dots, because we don't want no hijacker come in here talking about Wikipedia research. We ain't even on Wikipedia. Internet research, it don't matter. The truth is the truth. Just go back to our old India Superior map. Let's just go back there for a minute. See, they ain't think you were gonna find out about stuff like this, man. I ain't want to go to Pinterest. I just wanted it on the Google page to blow it up. They ain't think you was gonna find stuff like this. Damn, man. See, alright, let me just do it this way. They ain't think you was gonna find it in even the larger maps and see La China right there, the original China. Now, they wanted you to think that all that stuff is over there in the eyes of the Gentiles. They ain't want you to know Cathay was over there. They ain't want you to know that some of these places had the names from ancient times. Like Haiti, they was changing it. They was changing them to hide it. Brazil, El Peru, all this and that. They ain't want you to know. They ain't want you to know that India Superior. They ain't had know it was India, the something right there. I can't even pronounce whatever that say. They want you to miss everything. They want you to miss everything. If you ain't see La Florida right here and you ain't see South America, you probably wouldn't even think this was America. This old ancient map. And look at the Gulf of Mexico. Some people want to say Gulf of Mexico, Managa. Some people want to say the map ain't accurate. How you know how it looked at that time? How you know how the water went up in the Gulf of Mexico at that time, Managa? You don't know. You think you know. You think everything looked like how they show it to you now. Columbus knew he found Cathay. Columbus knew exactly where he was at, man. Y'all run with the hijack, man. You're gullible, man. If you're running with the hijack at this point, you're naive to me, man. You're naive and gullible, man. You will believe a liar. You believe in Santa Claus too, I know. Krampus. You believe in Krampus and shit, man. See, I ain't finna go down that road today. You believe in Jesus Christ and all that kind of stuff. I can't even deal with you. The following year, he began a determined conquest. He was determined to conquer Haiti. Look, he began a determined conquest of Hispaniola. And for those that don't know, that you don't believe me, what country is Hispaniola? I keep telling you, they've been trying to conquer Haiti since Columbus, the Republic of Haiti on the Western Third, Hispaniola, Haiti. They've been trying to conquer Haiti since 1493, 1492. I mean, they've been trying to conquer Haiti since 1492. Before, and all these Nagas, all these fake ass FBA followers. We FBA up here north in the United States and this and that. Like you deserve a special hero cookie. The Haitians they've been attempting to colonize the Haitians longer than they've been you and I. So what are you saying? Nothing. There is evidence, especially look. He had reached Cathay, though not all of Columbus's company agreed with him. The following year, he ain't care that they agree. He said, I'm Columbus, bitch. He said, I'm the leader. He said, I don't care if y'all agree or not. Columbus said, if I said we in Cathay, we in Cathay. He said, these my 17 ships. I got the map. I got the Hebrew interpreters. I know more. That's what Columbus said. He wasn't hearing what no hijackers was talking about. Columbus was convinced, and he made them sign the declaration. He said, man, the one of you niggas kill me. He said, y'all let them know we in Cathay. He said, there is evidence. Look. Columbus company agreed with him. The following year, he began a determined conquest of Haiti, Managa, spreading devastation amongst the Taino, Managa. There is evidence, especially in the objections of a friar, Bernardo Buil, that Columbus' methods remained harsh. We know they was harsh. We know he was enslaving the Tainos, the indigenous cons, the Americans, the Negroes, the real Tainos. We know who Columbus was enslaving. The fake Tainos of today, y'all might as well hold this L. We know what the Tainos looked like when Columbus went to America and went back to Spain. It's not you. It's not you at all. It's our people. So go on and hold the L. You not a real Taino. The Nagas down there, you calling it Afro and you calling it Haitians, them niggas are Tainos. And they ain't come from no Africa. That's who Columbus found and was fighting with. I keep telling y'all this. And they won. They ran Columbus out that bitch. They ran the Spanish. Columbus was the Spanish. They ran after they ran the Spanish out talking about Hispaniola. The French came down there on some Bone Savage shit talking about, yeah, we're gonna call it Saint Domingo now. Bullshit. Liberty or death. They ran up in there trying to. The French tried to. The Spanish failed. The French gave it a shot. The French failed miserably and got their ass ran out. Dessalines and them was decapitating them and hanging them. The ancient Asian said, "Bitch, if Columbus ain't succeed, who the hell think y'all is?" And to this day, now they trying to send some little skinny ass Kenyans over there. Man, them Haitians gonna eat their ass alive, man. I ain't talking about cannibalism. I'm talking about a bullet, my nigga. I don't think it's been nothing to be concerned about. They over there still trying to colonize the place they was never, the land of high mountains. You were never able to colonize. The Most High is on the side of Haiti, my nigga. The admiral departed La Isabella for Spain on March 10, 1496, leaving his brother Bartholomew and Diego in charge of the settlement. He reached Cadiz on June 11 and immediately pressed his plans for a third voyage upon his sovereign, who were at Burgos, Spain, was then at war with France. See, we just was talking France. France said, y'all think y'all doing something, we'll go take Haiti since y'all can't handle it, and needed to buy and keep its alliance. Moreover, the yield from the body alliance with France from the second voyage had fallen well short of the investment. And they call it a business move. They call it an investment. They bought an alliance with France and called it an investment. Portugal was still a threat. Though the two nations had divided the Atlantic conveniently between themselves, they split the pie. In the treaty, they split in our pie in their treaty. That's why I be like, kill them all. I don't care. I know they gonna kick me off one day. I know I ain't gonna be on the platform one day. They gonna get tired of me and the stuff I say. According to the treaty, Spain might take all land west of a line drawn from pole to pole, 370 leagues, west of the Cape Verde Islands, whereas Portugal could claim land to the east of the line. You see how they fictitiously creating east and west, just like they did with the Indies, east and west. That's part of they plan on when they colonize places. They try to divide and conquer. They try to split. They'll go to a native land like Korea and try to split the land in half. Say this North Korea, that's not South Korea. Get them to fight each other. Then when they fight each other and then they kill off half their own people, then they come in and finish the job. This is what they was doing to us too. But what about the other side of the world? Where West met East? There ain't no West met East. See, this is the bullshit. This is the hijack. Also, there might be a previously undiscovered Antipodean continent, who then should be trusted to draw the line there. Ferdinand and Isabella therefore made a cautious third investments. 6 ships left. See, they ain't have but 6 ships left. They sent all their ships over here. On May 30, 1948, 3 filled with explorers and 3 with provisions. See what I'm saying? See, right there. They sent 6 ships. Only half of them had people on them. 3 ships with people. The other 3 ships had to have food and water. I keep telling y'all this slave trade is a lie. These cartoon ass photos that they keep shoving down your throat and terrorizing you with. They terrorize you with, traumatize you and your children. They telling you you got to your ancestral land. They telling you you came to America like this. Let's put it up. Let's put it up. See, you can catch them telling the truth sometime, but you got to be willing to connect the dot, though. Oh, they hijacking me. All right, they know. They say, "Oh, Black Jack, you slick son of a bitch. We see where you're going with this one." That's what they say. Look, they had 6 ships, 3 with provisions, 3 with people, 3 with food and water. Provisions is food and water, and whatever else you told me, right? Why y'all ain't pulling my Google up? What's the deal? All right, let's do this then. Y'all don't pull my Google up. Let's just do it this way then. Oh, y'all hijacking major way. Slave ship. Here's the incriminating evidence. Here's the incriminating evidence they're telling on themselves every time. Where's the other ships with provisions? You was talking. Oh no, don't. Yeah, go back there. Go back where we tried to go at. Where's the food and the water? Where's the other ship? That ship is packed, top to bottom. Managa. Where's the other ships with the food and water? See, you're catching yourself in so many lies. However many ships you said you sent with Africans over here, you gotta say you sent the same amount of ships with food and water. It doesn't work any other way. You can't say you just sent ships packed like this, no food and water in sight. You got these now, they're like a matchbox. This ship like a match. If this was matches and somebody sparked the flame in that bitch, will go to flames. And anybody that been on a boat before know damn well you can't even pack a ship like this. It's gonna sink instantly to the bottom. It's not gonna even drive off anywhere. I mean, this is not. I mean, this is one of the biggest hoaxes in history. This is a hoax, if not the largest hoax in history. But when you're doing research, they tell you the truth in other ways. Cause see, now you gotta say, okay, not only do y'all got no slave ships, y'all ain't even got no slave provision ships. Where the slave provision ships at? You mean to tell me all of them are long gone and sunk to the bottom of the ocean? You ain't got one slave ship. You ain't got one slave provision ship to show me, to connect dots, to prove that you telling the truth about history. You ain't even said nothing about a slave. We know the slave provision ship don't exist because you never mentioned them. I had to throw that out there to make you think about it. The colonizer looking at it, scratching his head like, damn, we done fucked up again. Man, this is stupid, man. I'm just getting tired of stupidity, man. I'm ready for everybody to elevate to a higher frequency. So none of this should be able to slide. You should catch this stuff very quickly. And it's from 1400s, and this is 2024, and people still running with these lies. Just simply reading this stuff, none of this stuff should be able to move past your thought process. If you call yourself somebody with any common sense. 6 ships left, 3 filled with explorers, 3 other with food and water. For the settlement, that sounds realistic. For the settlement in Haiti, it was clear now that Columbus was expected both to find great prizes and establish the flag of Spain firmly in the East. Look, see, they calling it the East, right? They calling it the East. I thought it was the West Indies. Wait a minute, what you saying? What you saying now? It's the East now? You saying to establish the flag of Spain firmly in the East. So Columbus was successful, huh? So are we in true East? Is this Cardinal West or is this Hebrew East? I ain't gonna even go down that road yet. We'll keep moving. Certainly he found prizes, slaves, but not quite of the kind his monsters required. His aim was to explore the South of the existing discovery. He did find gold and stuff. They want to try to say he ain't find it because they don't want to give it back. You know what I'm saying? His aim was to explore to the South of the existing discoveries in the hope of finding both a straight from Cuba, his Cathay, to India. See, man, this more make my skin crawl sometime, man. This shit make my skin crawl sometime, y'all. They talking about from Cuba to the United States. Ain't no such thing as the United States. Ain't no such thing as Cuba for real. He went from Cathay to India. Just like he said. And perhaps the unknown Antipodean continent. On June 21st, the unknown. Not their known world. Remember we were just talking about their known world, the unknown. India ain't exist in their known world. It existed in the unknown world. Where the Presta was. On June 21st, the provision ship left Gomera for Hispaniola, for Haiti, while the explorers headed south for the Cape Verde Islands. Salute to the Cape Verde knockers. Columbus began the Atlantic crossing on July 4 from Santiago in Cape Verde. He discovered the principle of compass variation. He ain't just, I don't believe nothing. He got that from the Nagas. Anything he came over here talking about he discovered, he got it from the niggas. He got it from the niggas. You know it's true. Because you trying to claim everything over here. You trying to claim everything over here, including us. Talking about you discovered. You done got over here and found the compass. He done came over here and found the Naga with the compass. Come on now. Talking about he discovered. Yo, dumb ass, because you ain't even dumb enough to tell a good lie. You ain't smart enough to tell a good lie. Talking about you discovered. I know you ain't make nothing. He discovered the principle of compass. He got it from the Nagas, man. The variation at any point on, he got it from the Mayans. That variation at any point on the Earth's surface between the direction to the magnetic and geographic north, for which he made brilliant. He ain't lying. He ain't made brilliant allowance. He ain't nothing to brilliant about him. On the journey from Margarita Island to Hispaniola on the later leg of his voyage, he got that knowledge out of India Superior. Naga, you ain't fooling me. I know all your lies. See, once the Most High revealed your lies to me, it's like a floodgate. I don't even know why I do this, y'all. I'm not that smart for real. You know what I'm saying? I just ask some questions and the Most High give me the answer. I swear the Most High just point the way. Just how Columbus was pointing over the India Superior, the Most High be pointing to me, telling me this stuff, man. I swear to y'all, y'all don't give me. These ain't my prophecies. The Most High revealed this, and I just share it. The Most High reveals the truth and uncovers the lies. He also observed through, though misunderstood. Yeah, I bet he misunderstood that. He always thought, see, this misunderstood, this mistake. He accidentally, right. The diurnal rotation of the northern pole star. See, now they finna get into all this this science and stuff, this stuff that he trying to bend and twist stuff. Twist the truth, really, trying to make it fit what they wanted to fit. After stopping at Trinidad, named for the Holy Trinity, whose protection he had invoked for the voyage, Columbus entered the Gulf of Paria and planted the Spanish flag on the Paria Peninsula in Venezuela. So the Gulf of Paria in Venezuela. He salute to the Venezuelan Naga and the Trinidad Nagas. He sent the caravel El Correo southward to investigate the mouth of the Grand River and northern branch of the Orinoco River. The Orinoco. Hey, see the Orinoco River Delta? Now look at these. They gonna try to tell you these is I'm gonna do a live stream on these. Watch this here. Orinoco, right? Orinoco Negro. They gonna try to tell you they're African. Watch. Let's go to some images. Alright, look, let me do it like this. Let me take Negro off. They know what I'm up to. Let me put Santeria. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Come on. Now. Here we go. Now. Come on. Now. The Orinoco, huh? And look. They call it Orisha. Santeria, right? Look at this one. American Indians, right? See this stuff. Y'all can buy some of this stuff because they don't even know it's. These people don't even know it's American Indian stuff for real because the hijack trying to call it something else. Feathered up, crowned up Naga. They trying to call it other stuff. They gonna call them Africans. Watch. See? Because they black. But the Orinoco or Orisha is really American Indian. They call them African. Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. I had to stop just to connect this dot. We're gonna get back on point on the lesson. Let me show you something. Even with the emerald clusters. Watch this. Cause all these artifacts, all these little stuff, this is based around the Orinoco River Delta. Let me see. Let me just put Orinoco Orisha. We ain't gonna dwell on this too long. I just want to show y'all something because they mentioned it in what we talking about. Orinoco Orisha, huh? Orisha. They try to say Oko Yoruba. They always trying to say Yoruba. Hey man, they killed me with this Yoruba stuff, man. That's another way they tell on themselves. They always trying to throw something under Yoruba. That's a lie. Or the Orisha's the Orinoco, fool. You ain't fooling me. I know. Let me put. Okay, let me do it like this. Let me put a figurine. So I was gonna show y'all something. Look, see, look, there go one with his bow and arrow. Look, it's one look like the more with the emerald clusters. Let me find this. I done seen. I downloaded them. I got them in my files. I wasn't even planning to go here with this episode, but since they brought it up, it's one. He dressed just like the Moor with the emerald clusters, but it's an Orinoco or Orisha dog. Is that it? Hold on. Shango, yeah, with Shango, the Orisha figurine, White Horse Shango. Yeah, it was the Shango. Hold on, let me pull them up. Cause I'm finna show y'all something about this Shango shit real quick, and I'm gonna do something on it later. Cause I see ain't nobody really talked about it. Cause I think they don't know. You know what I'm saying? They might not know about this. See, I said I was gonna buy some of these too, cause they're not that expensive. All right, let me do it like this. I'm trying to try to trick the search. Let me put more with the emerald clusters. Oh y'all, I know it's early. It ain't early no more. I'm acting like it's early. Let me put Orisha. Alright, let me see if they're gonna put it up. Cause I was gonna buy it. Cause I said, dang, they got them just like the Moor with the emerald clusters, but they got them as an Orisha dog. See more anyway. Yeah, show me some more. Let me hit shopping. Alright, let me just hit shopping with more with emerald cluster real quick. I'm gonna go back to the lesson we on, but I just wanted to show y'all this. Cause I've been with alright. Shango Orisha. There you go, right there. Boom, right there. He got the medallions on like the Timucua. And see, they telling American Indian, not the African. Same thing like the bangles around the arm. And see, they gonna call him an African. They don't even know who said he's an African. The makers didn't say that. That's American Indian shit. Even with the hijack, when they trying to whitewash Timucua, the same dress, the same shit around the bangles of the damn, I ain't mean to do that. Around the bangles of the arm. Go to my community tab, make it clear. The same shit, the arm from the arm bangles to arm bangles that Orisha dog got. Even the neck bangles. But I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. That's some stuff, man. Y'all can research that too, man. I might do a show on that because a lot of people don't know. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna dispose it because I do want to buy some. If I expose what it really is, they might run the price up on them. They might say, oh, them the niggas. Run the price up on them and shit. They gonna run the price sky high where I can't afford them or where it's too ridiculous to buy one. See, now I don't want to give them people the power to do stuff like that. Because sometimes people don't even be knowing. Even just like them bone savage clocks. It was a time where them bones, you could find a bone savage clock, or you can even find a Negro Indian tobacco statue for less than $1,000. For like right at around 800 was around the cheapest one I seen. I should have bought it. But now that we've been talking about it and exposing it, all them shits is sky high now. But that's why I was looking at that. Yeah, the Orinoco. That's what that is, River Delta. And by August 15, he knew by the great torrents of fresh water flowing into the Gulf of Paria that he had discovered another continent, another world. But he did not find the strait to India. Yeah, he did. Nor did he find King Solomon's gold mine. Yeah, he did. Which his reading had led him and his sovereign to expect. See, he didn't say he was going to Hindustan. He didn't say he was going to East Indies. He said he was looking for India. He wasn't looking for no herbs and spices. That Naga took a Hebrew interpreter for slaves, and he was looking for gold. King Solomon, he was looking for the tribe, the lost tribes of Jacob. Naga, I keep telling y'all this stuff. Y'all think it's a game though. and he made only disastrous discoveries when he returned to Hispaniola. That's what they say. They say but when we see though all this gold and stuff, see, they keep lying, man. Look what the people who they was enslaving had on. He claimed he ain't find King Solomon temple in the cities of gold and all this. He turn around and Columbus ain't even say that. Columbus said he was successful. The historians are claiming he didn't find it. Yeah, he thought he was in India, but that wasn't India. He thought he was in Cathay. That wasn't Cathay. He thought he found King Solomon temple. That wasn't it, though. He thought he found the gold. That wasn't it. You get my drift, my naga? Both the Taino and the European immigrants had resented the rule of Bartholomew and Diego Columbus. A rebellion by the mayor of La Isabela, Francisco Roldan, had led to appeals to the Spanish court. And even as Columbus attempted to restore order, partly by hangings. Who was getting hung, Manaka? Who was getting hung? Who they always tell him was getting hung? Hey, Bantuan in the house, salute. Who would tell you was getting hung? The Spanish Chief Justice Francisco de Bobadilla was on his way to the colony with a royal commission to investigate the complaints. It is hard to explain exactly what the trouble was. Columbus's report to his sovereigns from the second voyage, taken back by Torres and so known as the Torres Memorandum, speaks of sickness, poor provisioning, recalcitrant natives, and undisciplined hidalgos, gentry. It may be that these problems had intensified, but the Columbus family must be held at least partly responsible. Intent as it was on enslaving the Taino and shipping them to Europe or forcing them to mine gold in Haiti. See, it's something they told you the slave trade backwards. They took some of your ancestors from Haiti and from other parts of the Americas to Europe. And the rest of you Nagas, they said you're going to be enslaved right here. They had no need to bring African slaves when it was so many Indian slaves that they could afford to take some to Europe, to Spain, and they could slave the rest of them that was still here. There was no need to waste money and time, and they used all 17 of the ships they had. They didn't have ships available to go to Africa to get slaves. Stop with the brainwashed lies. We got dates, we got people, we got ships, we got time, we got names and tribes right here with what we reading. It don't exist in the story from Africa. But the Columbus family must be held at least partly responsible for starting slavery in America, intent as it was on enslaving the Tainos and the rest of the Negroes in America, and shipping them to Europe or forcing them to mine gold right there in Haiti and the rest of America. Under Columbus's original system of gold production, local chiefs had been in charge of delivering gold on a loose per capita basis. The adelantado, the governor, Bartholomew de las Casas, Bartholomew Columbus, see? They tell you his name was Bartholomew de las Casas. Now they call him Bartholomew Columbus. Had replaced that policy with a system of direct exploitation led by favored Spaniards, causing widespread dissent amongst unfavored Spaniards and indigenous chiefs. Bobadilla ruled against the Columbus family when he arrived in Hispaniola in Haiti. He clapped Columbus and his two brothers in irons and sent them promptly back on the ship La Gorda. See, ship names. And they arrived at Cadiz on late October 1500. Ship names and dates all the way back to 1500s. They tell you they brought you here from Africa from 1619. Can't tell you what part of Africa. Can't tell you no tribe. Can't tell you no war. Can't tell you no date. Can't tell you no ship. Don't tell you no nothing. During that return journey, Columbus composed a long letter to his sovereign that is one of the most extraordinary he wrote and one of the most informative. One part of its exalted, almost mystical quality may be attributed to the humiliation the admiral had endured. Humiliation being compounded by refusing to allow the captain of the La Gorda to remove his chains during the voyage. They shackled him and kept him chained all He deserved that for the evil he did. He deserved to go on the 3-month voyage in chains and shackles. And another to the fact that he was now suffering severely from sleepiness, eye strain, and a form of rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, they tell you they brought your ancestors over here packing on that ship like that, though. Look what all Columbus was suffering from before he even got where he was going, which may hasten his death. I tell you, this is impossible. You can't bring people across the ocean like this on no 10-week journey in chains and everything else without them dying. You can't take one man without him dying on the way. Much of what he said in the letter, however, seems genuine to have expressed his belief. It shows that Columbus had absolute faith in his navigational abilities. He had absolute faith. He knew he found India superior. His seaman sense of the weather, his eyes, and his reading. He asserted he found India and the Indies and the Indians, and he enslaved them. That he had reached the outer region of the earth paradise. And that during his early approach to Trinidad and the Paria Peninsula, the poster's rotation had given him the impression that the fleet was climbing. The weather had become extremely mild, and the flow of fresh water into the Gulf of Paria was, as he saw, enormous. All this could have one explanation only. They had mounted toward the temporary heights of the earthly paradise, Managa. India superior, Managa. The promised land, Managa. The holy land. Paradise, Managa. Heights from which the rivers of paradise ran into the sea. Columbus had found all such signs of the outer regions of the earthly paradise in his readings, and indeed they were widely known. He said he didn't make a mistake. He said he didn't go the wrong way. He said he was absolutely correct. On this estimate, he was therefore close to the realms of gold that lay near paradise. He had not found the gold yet, so they say. To be sure, but so they say he had not found the gold. To be sure, but he knew where it was. Columbus' expectations thus allowed him to interpret his discoveries in terms of biblical and classical sources to the beginning of time, Managa, and to do so in a manner that would be comprehensible to his sponsors and favorable to himself. This letter, desperate though it was, convinced the sovereign that even if he had not yet found the prize, he had been close to it. After all, he found it. It ain't no even if he ain't. He found it. They ordered his release and gave him audience at Granada in late December 1500. They accepted that Columbus' capacities as navigator and explorer were unexcelled, although he was an unsatisfactory governor. On September 3rd, 1501, they appointed Nicholas de Ovando to succeed Bobadilla to the governorship. Columbus, though ill and importunate, was a better investment than the many adventurers and profiteers who had meantime been licensed to compete with him. And there was always the danger, revealed in some of the letters of this period, that he would offer his services to his native of Genoa. In October 1501, Columbus went to Seville to make ready his fourth and final expedition. The fourth voyage and final years of Christopher Columbus. The winter and spring of 1501 and 02 were exceedingly busy. The 4 chosen ships were bought, fitted, and crewed, and some 20 of Columbus's extant letters and memoranda were written then. Many in exculpation of Bobadilla's charges, others pressing even harder the nearness of the earthly paradise. And see, after the 4th trip, Managa, he's still talking about the paradise, Managa, India superior. You know what I'm saying? Hey, salute to Kyle N in the house, Jeff M in the house, salute. He's standing on business. He's standing on what he stood on. He say this India superior we find in Jerusalem. I'm convinced. After 4 voyages, we 10 years later, from 1492 to 1502, Managa, 10 years later, Columbus said others by pressing even harder the nearness of the earthly paradise and the need to reconquer Jerusalem, Managa. Well, Black Jack, how we the Indians and how we the tribe of Israel too? It don't make sense, Black Jack. Black Jack, how we the tribe of Jacob and how we the Indians too, Black Jack? What you mean the Indians speak Hebrew, Black Jack? What do you mean Jerusalem in America, Black Jack? What UBT be talking about when he be talking about Egypt in America, Black Jack? Well, here you go, man. Columbus took to calling, even Christopher Columbus knew, my nigga. Columbus took to calling himself Christ bearer. See, yo, Jesus Christ, who do you believe in, my nigga? See, I keep telling y'all, your Christ Christopher Cologne, your Christ Chris Cologne, Christopher Columbus, your Christ bearer colonization, my nigga. In his letters and to using a strange and mystical signature. A strange signature, huh? And mystical signature, I bet. Never satisfactorily explained, I bet. Probably not till today. He began also with all these thoughts and pressures in mind to compile his book of privileges, which defends the titles and financial claims of the Columbus family, and his apocalyptic book of prophecies, which includes several biblical passages. The first compilation seems an odd companion to the second. No, it ain't nothing odd to me. Yet both were closely linked in the admiral's own mind. He seems to have been certain that his mission was divinely guided. I thought he was looking for Hindustan and looking for herbs and spices in the shorter route to Asia. What is this? He seen he was divinely guided? Now you telling me? Thus the loftiness of his spiritual aspirations increased as the threats of his personal ones mounted. In the midst of all these efforts and hazards, Columbus sailed from Cadiz on his fourth voyage on May 9th, 1502. Columbus's sovereigns had lost much of their confidence in him, and there is much to suggest that pity mingled with hope in their support. His 4 ships contrasted sharply with the 30 granted to the governor of Ovando. Look, now they sending all the colonizers. They sending colonizers here. Here go 17 ships for you. Here go 30 for you. Bring back slaves, or the ones you can't bring, leave them there and get them busy. Divide and conquer. Make room for our people. His illness were worsening, and the hostility to his rule in Hispaniola was unabated. Thus Ferdinand and Isabella forbade him to return there. He was to resume instead his interrupted exploration of the other world to the south that he had found on his third voyage, and to look particularly for gold and the strait to India. Columbus expected to meet the Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama in the east, and the sovereigns instructed him on the appropriate courteous behaviors for such a meeting. Another sign perhaps that they did not wholly trust him. They were right. He departed from Gran Canaria on the night of May 25th, made landfall at Martinique on June 15th, after the fastest crossing to date. So look, that was the fastest crosses to that time in the 1500s. It took 3 weeks at that time. After he had first came, he had learned his way, and was by June 29th demanding entrance to Santo Domingo on Hispaniola. Santo Domingo, Haiti. Remember, Haiti. Only on being refused entry by Ovando did he sail away to the west and south. From July to September. Now you know he pissed off. Columbus pulled back up to Haiti, and and the new colonizers ain't let him in. He was like, "Yo, I found these niggas." He was like, "How y'all ain't gonna let me in? And I'm the one found these niggas." They ain't even let him back in. The new colonizers ain't let Columbus come back. Look how greedy these Europeans was. They were like, nah, we got it from here. Damn, from July to September 1502, he explored the coast of Jamaica. He said, "Plenty of knockers over here." He said, "Get some of these knockers over here." He said, "That's all right. They ain't want to let me back in Haiti. I found Jamaica now." The southern shore of Cuba, Honduras. Oh, there's a lot of knockers in Honduras. Shout out to my knocker Dixon, knocker from Honduras. Crazy little knocker from Honduras. Cut a knocker quick. You know what I'm saying? The southern shore of Cuba, Honduras, and the Mosquito Coast. Y'all know what the Mosquito tribe look like. Nicaragua. The Mosquito people of Nicaragua. His feat of Caribbean transnavigation, which took him to Bonaca Island off Cape Honduras on July 30th, deserves to be reckoned on a par as to difficulty with that of crossing the Atlantic, and the admiral was justly proud of it. He was proud of everything he thought he did. The fleet continued southward along Costa Rica, constantly probing for the strait. Columbus sailed around the Chiriqui Lagoon in Panama. In October, then searching for gold, he explored the Panamanian region of Veraguas in the foulest of weather. In order to exploit the promising gold yield he was beginning to find there, he was finding gold. The admiral in February 1503 attempted to establish a trading post at Santa Maria de Belém on the bank of the Belém, Bethlehem River under the command of Bartholomew Columbus. However, Indian resistance and the poor condition of his ships, of which only 2 remained, fearfully holed by shipworm, caused him to turn back to Haiti. On this voyage, disaster again struck. Against Columbus' better judgment, his pilots turned the fleet north too soon. The ship could not make the distance and had to be beached on the coast of Jamaica. But by June 1503, Columbus and his crews were castaways. They was marooned. Columbus got marooned in Jamaica. Columbus had hope, as he said to his sovereigns, that my hard and troublesome voyage may yet turn out to be my noblest. It was in fact the most disappointing of all and the most unlucky. In its explorations, the fleet had missed discovering the Pacific across the Isthmus of Panama and failed to make contact with the Maya of Yucatan. By the narrowest of margins, 2 of the men, Diego Mendez and Bartolomeo Thesis, captains of the wrecked ships La Capitana and Vizcaino, respectively, left about July 17 by canoe to get help for the castaways. Although they managed to traverse the 450 miles of open sea to Hispaniola, to Haiti, Managa, Ovanda made no great haste to deliver that help. He was like, hell no. He was like, we had to go 450 miles in a canoe. He was like, damn Columbus. In the meantime, the admirals displayed the acumen once again by correctly predicting an eclipse of the moon. So the Indians told him from his astronomical tables, thus frightening the local peoples into providing food. But rescuers did not arrive until June 1504, and Columbus and his men did not reach Haiti until August 13th of that year. So the rescuers came in June, but Columbus didn't make it to August. So the rescuers was gone. On November 7th, he sailed back to San Lucar and found that Queen Isabella, his main supporter, had made her will and was dying. Bitch. Good riddance, bitch. Or burn in hell, bitch. Columbus always maintained that he had found the true Indies. And could they see, man? See, this is right here, man. And salute the real Tony Bell in the house. Salute. Hey, boy, pull up on me today, bro. Pull up on me today, man. I'm at the house today, man. The real Tony Bell, pull up on me, man. I need to go. I still need to go over there and see your moms, man. I ain't never get that done, so pull up on me. You know what I'm saying? Shit, you got time, pull up on me today. We're going to take care of moms. But Columbus never said he was going to Hindustan. He never said he was going to East India. He never said that he found the West Indies. Columbus said he found the true Indies and Cathay, Managa. There's no such thing as a West Indies. The Americas is the Indies, Managas. It's India superior, Managa. Columbus knew it. Columbus stood on it to his death, Managa. He stood on that till he died, Managa. All these historians are lying, telling you he was looking for the East Indies, which didn't even exist in 1492. That place was called Hindustan. Columbus stood on business. Columbus told the whole world. He wrote books that he found India superior. He found the promised land. He found the Indies. He found the Indians. He found the lost tribe of Israel. Columbus stood on it in 1400s, Managa. All the way to his death, he stood on it. He stood on it till he died, Managa. And even when you look at this old map right here, look at this old map. Let's click on it real quick. Let's go over here to what they telling you is the East Indies. Over here, what is it called? It ain't even called Hindustan at the time of this map. Look at this. Do you see India over here? Do you see Hindustan? No. Let's sit there for a minute. Find India for me over there in the eyes of the Gentile. Find the East Indies that Columbus was talking about, that the historians tell you he was talking about, that he never said. It don't exist. Cathay Managa? Is that Cathay? Columbus maintained to his death that he found the true Indies and the Indians and the children of Drake. He called them Los Niños de Indios, the children of God. No matter what the historical liars tell you about herbs and spices, no, it was slaves, niggas, and it was slave Israelite niggas and the promised land. In the face of mountain evidence that he did, not that he did not, he did. Perhaps he genuinely believed that he had been there. He did believe, and the world knows it's true. You hijacker trying to cover it up. In any event, his disallowance of the New World hindered his goals and nobility and wealth, and dented his later reputation. Columbus had been remote. You know why it dented his reputation? Because he said too much. Columbus gave us all the game. He couldn't keep his big mouth shut. Columbus made it hard for them to cover this up. This is why they mad. Talking about he dented his reputation later. No, it's not about that. He said too much. He paraded Nagas all the way back. He said and he did too much. This is why his reputation is dented. It ain't about nothing else. He left too many breadcrumbs. He left too many dots to connect, my naga. Showing off. They're God's children. Showing off. He told too much. I'm going to the Indies. It's like you go out here and rob a bank with a Naga, and the Naga can't shut the fuck up. The Naga done told every detail, what time y'all went, what y'all had on, what kind of car y'all in. This Naga want to brag about doing the drill. That's Columbus. Writing books. Getting paintings done. Proud. Want to be proud of what he did. He was naive. He thought he was doing something good. Columbus had been remote from his companions and intending, he thought he was doing something good for the devil and intending colonists. And he had been a poor judge of his ambitions and perhaps the failings of those who sailed with him. The combination proved damaging to almost all of his hopes. Nonetheless, it would be wrong to suppose that Columbus spent his final 2 years wholly in illness, poverty, and oblivion. His son Diego was well established at court, and the admiral himself lived in Sevilla in some style. His tenth of the gold diggings in his man, I thought he didn't find no gold. Guaranteed in 1493 provided substantial revenue. He only got a tenth of it. It's provided substantial revenue against which his Genoese bankers allowed him to draw, and one of the few ships to escape a hurricane off Hispaniola off Haiti in 1502, in which Bobadilla himself went down, was that carrying Columbus's gold. He felt himself ill-used and short-changed nonetheless, and these years were marred for both him and King Ferdinand by his constant pressing for redress. Columbus followed the court from Segovia to Salamanca and Valladolid, attempting to gain an audience. He knew that his life was nearing its end, and in August 1505, he began to amend his will. He died on May 20th, 1506. First, he was laid in the Francis. We don't care where he was laid, that son of a bitch, burning hell. In 1542, by the will of his son Diego, Columbus' bones were laid with his own in the Cathedral of Santo Domingo in Haiti, Managa, Hispaniola, now in the Dominican Republic. So Columbus' bones is in Dominican Republic. So the knockers down there ought to dig that knocker bite up and burn them bones. Get that shit out of our land. Send that Gentile bone straight to hell with him. Burn them to ashes. The dust to dust. Well, don't even contaminate our soil with the dusty bones of Christopher Columbus and his son. Fucking Gentiles. After Spain ceded Hispaniola to France, they called it Santo Domingue now, and then the Haitians got mad and took it back. The remains were moved to Havana, Cuba in 1795 and returned to Seville. And you better get that shit out of here. 1898. It took y'all that long, 103 years to get that shit out of here. In 1877, however, workers at the cathedral in Santo Domingo claimed to have found another set of bones that were marked as those of Columbus. Since 1992, these bones have been interred in the Columbus Lighthouse. Pharaoh A. Colon, his last name Colon, colonization. Christ's colonization. Christopher Colon. Principal evidence of travels of Christopher Colon remains. There are few Christ Colon. There are few material remains of Colon's travels. Efforts to find the Spaniards' first settlement on Haiti have so far failed, but the present-day fishing village of Bois-de-Mer de Limonade near Cap Haïtien, Haiti, may be close to the original site. An Taino chieftain settlement has been identified nearby. Concepcion de la Vega, which Columbus found on the second voyage, may be the present La Vega Veja. In the Dominican Republic, excavations at the site of La Isabela were still ongoing in the early 21st century, as were those at Seville, La Nueva, Jamaica, where Columbus's two caravels were beached on the first voyage. The techniques of skeletal paleopathology and paleodemography were applied with some success to determine the fates of the native populations. They still alive. The indigenous people still alive. They killed us off by name, on paper. Written sources. The majority of the surviving primary sources about Columbus are not private diaries or missives. Instead, they were intended to be read by other people. There is then an element of manipulation about them, a fact that must be borne fully in mind of their proper understanding. Foremost among these sources are the journals written by Columbus himself for his sovereigns. Yeah, we know they gonna have hijack, but one thing about hijack, when you got your third eye open, you see through hijack. Like yeah, these some forms were written meant to be read by people like me. I see right through what was going on. I see through the fake whitewash Indian that you was hanging was really niggas. One for the first voyage, now lost, though partly reconstructed. One for the second, almost wholly gone, and one for the third, which, like the first, is accessible through reconstructions made by using later quotations. So they want to tell you Columbus was looking for the Hindustan, for herbs and spices, but they're piecing together literature to put together Columbus' story. Each of the journals may be supplemented by letters and reports to and from the sovereigns and their trusted officials and friends, provisioning decrees from the sovereigns, and in the case of the second voyage, letters and reports of letters from fellow voyagers. So if this is what's going on, if they're coming up with history by going off documents, letters and stuff, and some pieces of, and not even the man's own words, why aren't you allowed to do the same? Why aren't you allowed to make your own? And who has to allow you? The only body got to allow you is you to make your own conclusions about who these niggas Columbus was slaving was. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking the evidence and I'm using my own brain. I'm not letting these colonizers lie to me. I'm doing the same thing they doing. They taking the evidence and making up a fake story. I'm taking the evidence and reading through their bullshit. There is no journal and only one letter from the fourth voyage. Columbus got a diary though. But a complete roster and payroll survived from this. Alone of all the journal, a complete roster and payroll. Alone of all the voyages, in addition, an eyewitness account survives that has been plausibly attributed to Columbus' younger son, Ferdinand, and what his brother, they say his brother Bartholomew wrote. There are written accounts, the devastation of the Indies, who traveled with the admiral. Further light is thrown upon the exploration by the so-called Plitos de Colón. See, colonization, man. What's that? Platos de Cologne. Judicial documents concerning Columbus's disputed legacy. A more recent discovery is a copybook that purportedly contains 5 narrative letters and 2 personal ones from Columbus, all previously unknown, as well as additional copies of 2 known letters, all claimed as authentic. Supplemental narratives include the life of the admirable Christopher Columbus, which has been attributed to Ferdinand Columbus, the Historia de los Reyes Católicos, circa 1500s, of Andres Bernaldez, a friend of Columbus and chaplain to the Archbishop of Seville, and the Historia de las Indias, which was compiled about 1550. Not the Historias of America, not the Historias of the West Indies, not the Historias of the East Indies, the Historia de las Indias, compiled about 1550, Managa, to 1563. Columbus never said he was mistakenly gone somewhere else. Hey, salute to Madonna Kimmon in the house. Salute. Columbus stood on what he believed, that he was going to the Indies, and that was where he went to. Bartolomeu de las Casas, former bishop of Chiapas and a champion of the indigenous people, he wasn't no champion. He was a murderer. He got to feeling guilty. Columbus's intentions and presuppositions may be better understood by examining the few books still extant from his own library. Some of these were extensively annotated, often by the admiral and sometimes by his brother Bartholomew, including copies of the Imago Mundi by the 15th century French theologian Pierre Dialy, a compendium containing a great number of cosmological and theological texts that he stole from the Indians. The Historia Rerum Ubique Gestorum of Pope Pius II, published in 1477. The version of the travels of Marco Polo, known as the De Consuetudinibus et Conditionibus Orientalium Regionum of Francesco Pepino, 1483-85. I need to check that out. The travels of Marco Polo. Alfonso de Palencia's late 15th century Castilian translation of Plutarch's Parallel Lives, and the humanist Cristoforo Landino's Italian translation of the natural history of plants. I don't trust nothing that say Christ, boy. They all evil. Other books known to have been in Columbus's possession are the Guide to Geography of the ancient astronomer and geographer Ptolemy. Yeah, see, ancient Managa. The Catholicon of the 15th century encyclopedia. Y'all think he ain't find Cathay? He knew the hell where he was going. Columbus wasn't bullshitting. And a popular handbook to confession. The Confessional. Oh, what y'all doing? The Confessional, produced by the Dominican Saint Antonius of Florence. The whole shows that the admiral was adept in Latin, Castilian, and Italian, but not Hebrew, if not expert in all three. He annotated primarily in Latin and Spanish, very rarely in Italian. He had probably already read and annotated at least the first 3 named texts before he set out on his first voyage to the Indies. Look how they put the Indies, quote unquote. See, man, that's why y'all gotta read, man. You gotta read, and you gotta read with overstanding, with understanding, with all the standing. You gotta read, Managa. They telling you, they throw it in Peru, the Indies. Blackjack is telling the truth. The Indies, ha ha ha. Columbus was deeply religious, I guess, and reflective man, as well as distinguished seaman, and being largely self-taught, he had a reverence for learning. Perhaps especially the learning of his most influential Spanish supporters, a striking manifestation of his sensibilities in the Book of Prophecies, I thought he was looking for herbs and spices in Hindustan. Nah, he was trying to figure out Hebrew and making Book of Prophecies about the lost tribes of Jacob in India Superior. A collection of pronouncements largely taken from the Bible and seeming the First Testament, and seeming to bear directly on his role in the Western voyage. He took the Old Testament. The book was probably compiled by Columbus and his friend, the Carthusian friar Gaspar Gorico, between September 1501 and March 1502 with additions until circa 1505. Calculations. Contrary to common law, contrary to what you believe, contrary to what the common fool believes, Columbus' contemporaries never thought that the world was flat. See, hijack. Educated Europeans had known, I don't want to get into all this earth round, they have no idea. With the spiritual, because now they trying to say, see, they thought the world was round, so he went west trying to go east. Stupid. I'm not even going to honor your hijacking reading that bullshit. You can't fool me with bullshit. Y'all can read that bullshit if y'all want y'all own. I just read enough. And we know you ain't about to get to the west side of town by going east. We know Columbus ain't nothing but a line. Well, ain't Columbus. Columbus told the truth.
Panic, panic,
we know these modern
panic,
historians are
panic,
panicking.
panic,
They some
panic.
lying son of a bitches. Peace to the chat.